Good afternoon, everybody. Please be seated. On behalf of the University of Strathclyde, I would like to extend a very warm welcome to you to this congregation for the conferment of degrees here in the Barney Hall. Today is a very special day in the university calendar. It's a graduation day, which makes it a day of celebration. A day of celebration for our graduates, for the family and friend, and indeed for all of the staff of the university. And I can't think of a better venue in which to start those celebrations than here in the Barony. In the United States, they refer to these events as commencement ceremonies, as they use them to signify the beginning of a new journey as opposed to an ending. And it is in this spirit that we also celebrate graduations at the University of Strathclyde. Now, in a few moments, it will be my privilege to cap each of our graduates as their name is called out and they come up on stage to receive their award. The capping tradition, which has its roots in ancient China, is recognised as a rite of passage and as a mark of achievement. And for each of our graduates once capped, this signifies that they are now part of a community of scholars at the University of Strathclyde that can stretch back over 200 years to the Scottish Enlightenment. So they'll be in very good company. At the close of graduation, we have the reception in our nearby Lord Todd building, to which everyone is invited to come along. We also hope to have an academic procession from the Barney over to the Todd. This will very much depend upon the weather, which isn't looking too good just now, but we'll get an update on that towards the end of this afternoon's proceedings. In the meantime, I do hope that you enjoy the ceremony, and when you see your loved one come on stage to receive their award, I would strongly encourage you to celebrate. These occasions don't come round very often, and we've got this hall all to ourselves, so let's make the most of it. I now formally declare that this congregation for the conferment of degrees is open, and I invite Professor Rob Martin, Vice Dean of the Faculty of Science, to present our graduates to receive their awards. Thank you.
Vice Principal, in the name of the University and by the authority of Senate, I present to you these students. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, for research in the Department of Pure and Applied Chemistry, Kimberly Lana Anderson. Laia Davin Cardona. Marco De Tullio. Julie Ann Doherty. Noor Hasfalinda Hamza. Tilimakos Dimitrios Kosmidis. Amel Lagol. Andrew Graham Malcolm. John May. Nicholas Meesom. Lisa Margaret Miller. Anna Isabel Ojeda Amador. Francis Mead Potjuwide. Ian David Rushworth. Joanna Christie Sadler. Sandeep Kaur Shahi. Rong Tang. For research in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics, Andishi Bakshi. Justin Kon. Sheherazada Gonzalez Aguayo. Aidan Hunter. David Ross. Chang Zhu. For the degree of Master of Philosophy, for research in the Department of Pure and Applied Chemistry, Joshua Kelly. For the degree of Master of Science in Quantitative Finance, Scott Thomas B. For the degree of Master in Science in Applied Chemistry and Chemical Engineering, Delilah Kofi Bokure. Stuart Burnett. Fatima Bilal. Callum Bullock. Yolanda Han Ni Cameron. Kieran John Gallagher. James Michael Hawko. Sally Nia Ting Ho. Grant William Howison. Amy Rebecca Mackay. Michael Allen Miller. Ian James Prentice. Mary Rourke. Alistair Campbell Sterling. For the degree of Master of Chemistry in Chemistry, Scott Kenneth Adams. Robert Crichton. Christopher Faulkner. Erin Francis O'Connor. Aksa Rahman. Morven Troop. Dawn Hannah White. Gemma McLaughlin. Melissa Jane Nixon. Ewan Ross O'Donnell. Ross Paul Smart. Stephen Towie. Mark Anthony Wilson. Amy Egglestone. Andrew Michael Kirby. In Forensic and Analytical Chemistry, Douglas Ross Burney. Kelly Brown. Ryan Mark Morgan. Katarzyna Barbara Paszko. Joanna Rachel Swan. Ross David Turner. Scott Hamilton. Yolanda Rosina Labanca. Daniel Rafferty. Amy Leona Campbell. Jodie Ferguson. Jacob Bledon Finear. Gabrielle Russ Inskate. Kate Walton. In Chemistry with Drug Discovery, Jenna Marissa Bruce. Grant Mackay Cameron. Ariane Leroy Finney. Rebecca Fisher. Megan Marie Hamer. Robin James Hill. Fiona Jane Keatings. Liam Kelly. Holly McCurlane. Ryan James Owen Nichol. Kelly Nicole Steele. Ashley Ann Stewart. Malcolm James Sterling. Dawn Thompson. Callum Yeardley, Andrius Bubliauskas, Cara Jo Dayil, Paula Marie Duffy, Callum Ian MacDonald, Megan Louise McKeeswick, Lewis John Print, Suzanne Lynn Rennick, Andrew MacDonald, Angus Patterson, Gavin Rory Pringle, in chemistry with teaching, Rebecca Cairns Morton, Ross Thompson, for the degree of Master of Mathematics in Mathematics and Statistics, Rachel Helen Boakes, Laura Stormonth, for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Michael Thomas Doherty, Grant Sherwood, Kirsty Anderson, Kirsty Joanne Bell, Stefan Brieski, Andrew William Carter, Michael Anthony Farron, John McGovern, Greg Patrick Mellon, Neil Robert Ross, Elliot Robert Shepka, Jared Burns, Lorna Gray, Ariane Lorna Harper, Graham Lester, Chiara Marissa Labato, Sean Mitchell, Amy Brown, Andrew Thomas McKee, In chemistry with analytical chemistry, Gary David Tolland. Hannah McGuinness. Stephanie Craig. Fraser Nichol. In chemistry with forensic chemistry, Lauren Green. Jonathan Shaw Goldie. In chemistry with drug discovery, Heather Francis Dudley. Lewis Hancock. Samantha Johnston. Mark McGowan. Alfie McQueen. Nadia Anwar. Cora Keane. Christina Glenn Robb. Dario Corrado Turiani. Hayley Wan. Fiona McEwen. Diane Catherine Grant. In applied chemistry, James Doherty. Ross George Bell McFadden. Alan Charles. Samuel Peter Stewart. Christopher Small. In chemistry with professional experience, Ross Carleton. Claire Ellen McKendry. Angus David Wilson. Elliot Alexander Smith. Victoria Lang. In chemistry with teaching, Lauren Elizabeth Calderwood McShannon. In mathematics, Hannah May Jolly. Sean Leith. Jordan Andrew Mullen. Chloe May Pediani. John James Hugh Stewart. Alison Clunas. Michael Thomas Anthony Doherty. Rachel Sarah Drysdale. Stuart Fairbairn. Lauren Maria Fragapane. Matthew Keith. Alison McKellar. Andrew Ross. Carmen Watt. Ross David Barr. Liu Bomir Beitrosyan. Rory James Gallagher. Laura Kerr. Jamie McCallum. Amrita Rachel Pandyan. Laura Jane Martin. Chloe Roberta Connell. David Farrell. Ifat Rizwan Hafiz. Ela Khan. In mathematics and statistics, Kerry Gallagher. Emma Pass. Adam Russell. Emma Elizabeth Stephen. Catherine Toner. Florence Allison Sally Tideman. Xai Yui Xi. Abby Boyd. Liesel Brozio. Anthony Cresswell. John Doherty. Christina Jane Hanlon. Lauren Higgins. Adrian Breslin Loughlin. Sarah McLeod, Bethany Helen O'Neill, Gavin James Vivers, Ming Wang, Cara Craig McCourt, Ailsa Frame, Michelle Hendry, Natalie Hewitt, Annabelle Louise Lawson, Ryan James Moore, Solius Matusis, Carla Louise Vernell, Kyle Lone, Jennifer Snedden, in mathematics and physics, Martin Gary Lochery, Emma Valerie Fox, Lauren Christine McFadden, Angus Watt, in mathematics, statistics and accounting, Karen Jamison, Carmen Ka Yi Lau, Daniel James Macaulay, Stuart Brown, Caitlin Pringle, Amy Nicole Swan, in mathematics, statistics and economics, James Kenelm Harley Black, Ross Conmee McBride, Callum Morris Dixon, Leon Green, Kieran Harvey, Paul Graham Hough, Jonathan Sweeney, Ross Waddell, Chris Gray, Stephen Robert Jack Wallace, in mathematics, statistics and finance, Gavin Ian Alexander Lanigan, Duncan Clifford McNair, Cameron Sitt, Ashley Margaret Bailey, Kirsty Morag McAllister, Gordon Neil Scobie, Christopher Swan, Inez Kamalindi, in Mathematics, Statistics and Management Science, Connor Michael Mayers, Louise Dowdles, in Mathematics with Teaching, Sophie Nisbet, Jane Isabel Sterling, Alison Todd, Megan Fleming, in Mathematics and Statistics, Sarah Thompson.
Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and most of all, Strathclyde University's newest graduates, it is my pleasure to once again warmly welcome you to our graduation ceremony here in the Barony Hall. Quite rightly, our graduates have been centre stage, and I would like to begin my address by congratulating all of you once again on your academic achievements. Your hard work has paid off, and this has now been recognised in front of your families, friends, and the staff who taught and supported you during your time at the university. And under the lights of this magnificent venue, we celebrate your efforts and your achievements. Very well done. Now, in a short while, at the close of graduation, you may be asked to join the academic procession as this leaves the barony. This invitation actually symbolises the fact that you are no longer students, but now full members of the academic community of Strathclyde, a community that numbers over 170,000 individuals. The class of 2017 is graduating at a time of considerable change in Scotland, in the United Kingdom, and globally. And challenges lie ahead for all of us. But as a member of the Strathclyde family, you belong to a large and growing worldwide community with a shared ethos of tolerance and understanding, and a desire to make a positive difference. I hope that the memory of today is something that will stay with you wherever you go and whatever you choose to do in life. We will keep in touch with you through our alumni team, and I would ask that you also keep in touch with us. Let us know what you're up to, what you think about what we're doing at the university, and what you would like to do to help future generations of students. As graduates of a socially progressive university, you have a competitive advantage, having been equipped with the skills, know-how, and capacity to absorb knowledge, together with the ability to positively influence and shape the world around you. Nelson Mandela once said that education was the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Do not underestimate this power or your responsibility to do it well. In Scotland, we are fortunate in having a higher education system which is internationally respected, and as a society, we are quite right to invest in education for all. This broadens the mind and creates opportunities for individuals and for society. However, education itself does not confer rights. The opportunities that education gives each of us also carries with it a responsibility to use what we have learned wisely and for the good of others. A sense of duty should come readily to graduates of this university. As Strathclyders, we only have to look at the achievements of those who have gone before us for our inspiration. To John Anderson, our founder, who established this university for the good of mankind. To the world's first oil man, James Paraffin Young. To the missionary and explorer, David Livingstone. To John Logie Baird, who did such pioneering work on the development of television. In the present day, we look to Dame Eilish Angiolini, a pioneer in Scottish justice, as the country's first female Solicitor General and later its first female Lord Advocate. And to Sir Tom Hunter, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Scottish history, and a philanthropist who has used his wealth to the great benefit of others around the world. I am sure that you've been given lots of advice on how best to plan your life. Some of this advice you will accept, some you will rightly ignore, but most you will have to learn for yourself. Robert Louis Stevenson put it well when he said, "Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant." Now, to reach this point in your lives today, each of you will have travelled a different journey. For some, the path will have been relatively smooth. For others, this may have been more challenging. However, I am certain of one thing, that none of you would be here without the active support of your family and friends. They have picked you up when you have been down, they have encouraged you when you have needed it, and many will be here today, proudly watching as you cross this stage with broad smiles and the odd tear in their eye. Now, they are celebrating today, not just because you're almost off the payroll, but because you carry with you their hopes, their wishes, and confidence for a successful career. For the past half hour or so, their applause has rung in your ears as you each, in turn, crossed this stage to receive your awards. I would now like to invite all of our graduates to show their appreciation for the support received from their family and friends. I touched earlier on some of the key figures who have helped create and shape the University of Strathclyde. And you can tell a lot about the values of an organisation by looking at its roots. Strathclyde traces its lineage back to 1796, when Anderson brought it into being, the only Scottish university founded during the Age of Enlightenment and embodying the Enlightenment principles of reason, tolerance, and equality. Anderson's belief in useful learning and his commitment to taking knowledge and using this for the greater good is the motivating force which gives Strathclyde its momentum today. This can be seen in our pioneering law clinic, where our students provide support and representation to people who cannot afford legal advice. And it can be seen in our business school, which was recently named the UK Business School of the Year in the prestigious Times Higher Education Awards. It can also be seen in our £89 million Technology and Innovation Centre, which is transforming the way in which academics collaborate with business, industry and the public sector to bring global competitive advantage to Scotland, and this is a tangible sign of the university's commitment to world-class research and ensuring that outcomes have maximum benefit to society and the economy. These represent a small sample of the many innovative projects being led by our world-class staff and students, taking new knowledge and using it to solve problems in industry, in the classroom and in the boardroom. I'm especially pleased to note that we are developing our campus to enable us to do even more. Strathclyde Business School's flagship building has been transformed following a £23 million investment. And we also have a £31 million sports, health and wellbeing centre, along with a £20 million district energy network under construction. And we're about to begin work on our new £60 million learning and teaching facility, bringing our total investment in our estate to more than £600 million over the last 10 years. Other science faculty highlights over the last year include Research Associate Dr. Holly Butler from Pure and Applied Chemistry, who won the Converge Challenge, Scotland's largest academic startup award. Her winning technology is the development of a simple blood test for the early detection of brain tumours. Professor Nicholas Lockerbie from Physics won a President's Medal from the Royal Society of Edinburgh for his role in the international research project which detected the existence of gravitational waves. And on the same theme, Nick Lockerbie, along with Sharat Jahawar and Dr. Kirill Tokmakov, all from physics, were awarded a special Breakthrough Prize Medal for fundamental physics, also from the Royal Society of Edinburgh. Professor Eva Havia of Pure and Applied Chemistry received the Gordon Day Morgan Prize from the Royal Society of Chemistry for the most meritorious contributions to chemistry. Dr. Matthew Baker from Pure and Applied Chemistry was awarded the Harrison Meldola Memorial Prize from the Royal Society of Chemistry for the most promising original investigations in chemistry. Dr. Victoria Dolan from Mathematics and Statistics was a joint winner of the Bill Joseph Fourier Prize for research into methods for accelerating the diagnosis of strokes. Professor Martin Dawson from Physics won the Gaber Medal from the Institute of Physics and also won the IEEE Photonics Society's Aaron Kressel Award in recognition of his work and contributions in photonics. And Professor Karen Falls from Pure and Applied Chemistry received the International Craver Award for her outstanding molecular spectroscopy work in healthcare applications. Now, these are just some of the many contributions being made by our staff and students from across the Faculty of Science. And Strathclyde is being increasingly recognised as a place where things happen, and this is why our graduates are so highly prized by companies and organisations looking to recruit the best talent to drive their businesses forward. Scotland punches above its weight across the board, and the future of Scotland will be built upon the quality of its graduates. Regardless of our discipline, all our students learn how to be innovative, enterprising, and creative, and they make a real difference when they go out into the workplace. So wherever your career takes you, always remember that as a Strathclyde graduate, useful learning carries with it responsibilities that go beyond academic scholarship. And finally, let me offer my sincerest congratulations to you all again on your achievements, and I hope that you enjoy the remainder of what is a very special day. Thank you.